What's good, y'all, man? We're back here with another YouTube video, and today we are starting our positions video. I do this type of videos every year. I feel like every NBA channel does it, where they name top 10 in every position. I feel like it changes a lot, and I feel like especially this year, a lot of positions were changed and a lot of rankings with players were changed this year. And I'm very excited to do this video because some of it was pretty hard. The top 5 for me is pretty easy because I feel like it's been those guys for like the last 2-3 years, but like from 6 to 10, that's hard, especially after the years that some of these guys had. But before we get into this video, make sure you like and subscribe, share with your friends. We're going to drop this whole 5 thing, and then at the end we're going to do top 50 players in the NBA, and I'm very excited for that video because that video will be hard. But other than that, let's get straight into this video. So to start off, I'm going to start off at 1 because I feel like 6 through 10, like I said earlier, was pretty hard for me, and I still don't know the rankings where I'm gonna rank those guys. So I'm gonna start off at the top. I feel like it was gilgeous-alexander. I think he's the best point guard in the league. Now, normally it would be Luka. If Luka came back like he did from 23 to 24, I would have Luka here. Even though Shea had this crazy year, I would still have Luka because that Luka 23, 24, 34 point per game, Luka, the damn near triple double on 40% from 3. That Luka was not as athletic as he was as a rookie, but he was very athletic, get to the paint whenever he wanted. His playmaking was crazy, and his shot was 40%, and he was the best scorer in the league by far. Well, that wasn't this year's Luka. I think Luka dropped down a little bit, and I think it was the weight, and I think it was the injuries. And with Shea, I just think he was very good this year. Like, he had one of the best guard seasons that we've ever seen, just like Luka did the previous year, but he actually won the championship, won the MVP, had all the accolades, and I mean all of them, and I got to give it to Shea. He proved it in the finals where he averaged damn near 30, if I'm not mistaken. He averaged 30. I feel like he was very good at times on defense in that series, and he had a lot of clutch games in that series, especially that game 4 when they needed it. So Shea's going to be my number 1, and I have him edging Luka. Even though Luka had a down year, I have him edging Luka because I feel like Luka kind of dropped down to Shea's level to where that defense matters. Like, if Luka was what he was in 23 to 24, I'm sorry, even though Shea is pretty good on defense, he can't touch that. But Luka did drop down this year, and like I said, Luka is my 2, and it was kind of he dropped down pretty far. Like, I damn near consider Steph Curry over him because Luka's defense was just so terrible this year, and it was the weight. And then I didn't feel like his playmaking as good as it was. Now he is Luka, so it's still going to be better than a lot of people in the league. But his playmaking was so good because he was getting to the paint at will, and this year I don't feel like he was. I feel like he was settling for a lot of shots. I feel like he gassed out in a lot of games, but Luka was still very good. Like, Luka's lows is better than a lot of players. That's why he is the number 2 point guard in the league still, and he was still pretty good this year. Averaged 28, 8, 7, 45% for the field, 36 from 3. But like I said, the numbers went down, and just from looking at it, it went down a lot. So, and I don't think he was as good as I thought he was going to be in the playoffs. So yeah, I have Luka at number 2. Now number 3, like I said, I have Steph Curry. I feel like a Jalen Brunson or a Kyrie would have to do a lot to reach Steph Curry, even though Jalen Brunson has been amazing, especially in the playoffs the last 2 years. Steph Curry is just a different type of weapon. And like we've seen it when he got Jimmy, it was like he was dominant, like damn near MVP. Like, if we got that the whole season, he would have been higher. But the thing with Steph is he has those months, and he had about a month and a half where he was pretty bad this year. Like, he probably had the lowest lows on this list. Probably, I don't want to say for sure, but he probably had the lowest lows on this list. But still, Steph is Steph. Still was dominant. Had a very good playoffs. I believe they would have made it to the Western Conference Finals if he didn't hurt his hamstring, which sucks because I feel like they could have gave the Thunder not trouble. Like, it would have been like 5-6 games, but it would have been way better than the Timberwolves series. So yeah, but Steph is still Steph, and I do rate Steph pretty high. Like I said, I damn near put him over Luka because especially once they got Jimmy, Steph was on some crazy stuff. So that's why I have at number 3. At number 4, I feel like it's pretty easy. I feel like the top 4 is locked, and I don't think it's an argument for anybody else. You can say that Halliburton's. No. Like, Jalen Brunson is comfortably the 4th best point guard in the league to me. Shows it every year in the playoffs. I think his playmaking got a lot better this year. I do want to see that kind of carry on to the playoffs to where it's not so much about him. And I feel like he kind of has to do that at time because the pieces around him, you never know with them in the playoffs. But you always know Jalen Brunson's going to be there every single game. And I'm kind of excited for this whole new tenure with Mike Brown because he is saying that he's going to kind of take a lot of pressure off of Jalen Brunson. I feel like that can make him even better and even scarier because the pressure never really scared him anyway. He was always going to show up anyway. But Jalen Brunson is at 4. If he was better on defense, he probably could be higher. But if I'm not mistaken, He's like the ninth worst defender. Wait, no, yeah, the second worst defender on this list. So yeah, he's pretty low. But I do think he tried in the playoffs, and I think that means a lot. And I think his offense is amazing. So I have Jalen Brunson here at number 4. And number 5, I have a surprise. Now, he wouldn't be on my list last year because last year he was a shooting guard. But with the whole trade and everything, I have Kyrie on this list. I think Kyrie is very similar to Jalen Brunson. Very, very good player. Very, very good scorer. On all levels, very, very good scorer. And I would even give Kyrie the edge on defense. I think Kyrie was pretty good on defense this year. I think he shot it very well. I think even when Luka left off the team, I think he was very, very good. It sucks that we didn't get to see it in the playoffs, though. And still, I don't think they would have made it because then AD got hurt. But still, I'm very excited for the Mavs this year. And if he can come back healthy, I believe he can lead this team, not to a championship because to me, OKC's is different, but I think he can lead this team to probably scare OKC in the series. I'm that high on Kyrie. That's why I have him number 5, and that might be a shock to a lot of people. But, yeah, Kyrie's is that good to me. So that's why I have him number 5. Now, this is where it kind of gets hard. That was my top 5 point guards. Now, 6 through 10. I feel like all these point guards are in the same tier, and I think all of these point guards have an argument for being the 6th best point guard in the league. Starting off with Trae Young. I think Trae Young is the 3rd best playmaker in the league. I think he has an argument for the best passer, but I think like the height of Jokic and the height of Luka helps so much where I would like probably put him 3rd still. But like I do think even at his little size, he has an argument for him being the best passer. I think he's one of the best playmakers of all time. I just don't think our generation is allowed to get that credit yet. So it's kind of wild if I say Trae Young is one of the best playmakers of all time, but he is one of the best playmakers of all time. I think he tried a lot on defense, and I don't think his defense was as bad as it was normally. But, like, he would be so solidified number 6 if his scoring was as good as it once was. Like, he's just so inefficient these days. The shots to selection is still terrible. Not really shooting good from 3. So, it's kind of hard to put him here. But then again, like I said, to me, he's by far the best playmaker. Well, not. Okay, yeah, he's by far the best playmaker out of the guys I'm about to name. But still, like, it was hard because in the next name is Halliburton. Like, the run. You can't deny the run. Even as an old hater in myself, I can't deny the run. He was very good this playoffs. Even though he had a lot of stinkers, still, like, he showed up in all the big moments. Had 9 points in the game 7 before he tore his Achilles. And I have no doubt that he wasn't going to have a great game. Like, I knew he was going to have a great game. Yeah, he hit all the clutch shots in the world. Clutch out in every series. Is the leader of an all-time offense. Whether you like it or not, is a leader of an all-time offense. And I think his defensive playmaking in the playoffs is very good. Like, I don't think he's a good defender, but in the playoffs, he stepped it up. And he made a lot of plays on defense. That was very evident. So, like, he has the argument for number 6. And then we go down to Detroit. Cade Cunningham. Listen, going into the season, I wasn't sure of Cade Cunningham, not as a player, but as a point guard. And then I watched the season, and all that's done. He was, I believe, 3rd in the league in assists, and I think he was the offense. Like James Harden said a couple years ago, I am the system. I think that was Cade Cunningham. He was a system. Now, was it a great offense? No, but it was pretty good when he was on the court. I think he did okay in the playoffs, and it's kind of hard. When I mean okay is, I think he turned over a little bit more than he should have. I don't think he was as aggressive as he should have in every single game because I think that was needed. I don't think they stopped him. I just don't think he was as aggressive as he needed to be. But this season was very good for Cade. Averaged 25 points and I believe 9 assists on very good splits. And I do think out of this group that I'm about to name, I do think he is the best defender on the team. I mean, of these guys. So Cade has an argument for number 6. My next guy is Darius Garland. I think Darius Garland should have been an All-NBA player. And this is not me being biased, but I think he should have been an All-NBA player. I think he was the 2nd best player on the Cavs after Evan Mobley. And he didn't make All-NBA because Donovan Mitchell has a bigger name, which is okay. But if you look at our offense, like look at stats or watch the games, any lineup you put with Darius Garland on the court is going to be an elite offense. And it says it on the stats, and it says it while watching the game. Damn near 50, 40, 90 this year. One of the most efficient scorers in the league. To me, is one of the best offensive players in the league. I can't name 15 better offensive players than Darius Garland. I can't. And I don't think his defense was bad to where it hurt us this year. I think he took his... He kind of muscled up and kind of got tougher a lot. And as you can see, like, if you go to look at him on defense against all these All-Stars, he did very well. Like the numbers said, too, he did very well. even when he's getting attacked, because to beat us, you got to attack him and Donovan, and they attacked him a lot more than they attacked Donovan. And I think he did very, very good defensively this year. He would have been higher if we got that playoff run, but the injuries killed it. But yeah, I do think he has an argument for being the best offensive player out of these guys. And his defense is not that bad to where I was like, I can't put him over Cade or anything. No, his defense is not that bad. No matter what nobody says. Like, if you watch us, he does not hurt us on defense. And then the last guy is James Harden. I think James Harden was the best player for the Clippers this year. I think he held it down until Kawhi got there. I think he had some very good games in the playoffs. Very bad ones, but very good ones. I think his playmaking was elite this year. Very good. I think he got the best out of Zubac, got the best out of Norman Powell. I think he was so good playmaking this year. I think he had people thinking Norman Powell was an all-star. Not to say that Norman Powell didn't do his job this year and didn't do good this year. A lot of that was relying off of James Harden, and I think James Harden was very good. If you look at the splits, it's pretty bad, but like, bro, he was the offense. And he was getting double and triple every night. And everybody ate off of that. Like, he carried this team until Kawhi got back. And even when Kawhi got back, because the first 2 months of Kawhi, or the month with Kawhi, the first month, it was pretty bad. And then Kawhi started to get it ramped up as the playoffs came along. So it got easier. But James Harden, to me, was very good this year. I think he deserved that All-NBA spot. And I think he did deserve that All-Star spot. So, out of those names, man, I'm going to give Hadley number 6. Reason why I was very impressed, not only with the clutch shooting, because I even said it talking to a couple friends, like, Hadley's always been very clutch. Since he touched that Pacers jersey, he's always had a lot of clutch moments. But the defense was always holding him back from me. And I think, like, he stepped it up crazy this year on defense. And like I said, I still believe what I said plenty of times, that, like, this Pacers team is made for point guards. So a lot of point guards will go here and hoop. But that doesn't, like, I think I used to use that to discredit Hadley. And I'm trying not to do that, because I feel like still, like, he even might be the best ceiling raiser when it comes to this defense. This offense, if you put all these point guards here, even though it fits every point guard, he probably will be the best at making it the best it could be, because he's not so reliant on scoring. He can play off ball a lot, and then he can go out there and score on his own. So I'm going to give Hadley number 6. I want to give DG 6, 7 so bad. But Trey's playmaking is crazy, and I think DG with Donovan Mitchell, his playmaking hasn't taken a step back, but the volume has. But then again, Trey's shooting, I'm putting DG 7. Just because I think he's the overall better offensive player when it comes to being a scorer and everything, being a shooter, all ball player, all that. I'm putting DG 7. I'm going to put Trace 8 over Cade, because I do feel like his playmaking just clears. And I think in a playoff level, his scoring might be better, but I got to see it again this year. And I'm going to put Cade number 9, James Harden number 10. Now, like I said, in my opinion, those guys are all on the same level. So if it's completely flipped, or if you want to put DG 6, I don't really care. I feel like all those guys are on the same level, and I don't think it's crazy to have any guy over the next. But still, like I said, my top 10 point guard list is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP, the NBA champion. Number 2, Luka Doncic, and I do think he might raise next year if he loses a lot of weight. 3, Steph Curry. Still don't think that would be touched. Jalen Brunson number 4, Kyrie number 5. I had Hadley number 6, Darius Garland number 7, Trae Young number 8, Cade number 9, James Harden number 10. I had some honorable mentions in De'Aaron Fox. I just felt like he was hurt this year, so I want to see what he looks like when he's not hurt, and if he's good when he's not hurt, he'll most likely be on this list. Ja Morant, I was never a Ja Morant guy, but I just think, like, I still don't see it. I don't think he's today's Ja Morant. I don't think he's better. I don't even think he can touch any of these players. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, that's it for this list though. About to record that shooting guard list. I'm very excited for these videos, man. I really do love these videos. I love editing them too. And hey, I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.